Jessica and Tom. It's so nice to see you. Congratulations on becoming Elizabeth. I absolutely loved the show, and I think you did such a great job at showing the complexity of your character's relationship. So I have a question for you both first. Catherine Parr and Thomas Seymour had a certain behavior towards Elizabeth. Some scenes, such as, I mean, there's a certain scene where a dress gets ruined and it makes Elizabeth feel a certain way. I'm trying to stay away from spoilers. And that scene was really well made because it was actually described in historical records. How did you two prepare this relationship?
I'm so glad that you mentioned that it's a historically accurate scene, because it is. Yeah. I kind of couldn't believe it. Could you, Jess? No. To be honest, that scene scared me more than any other scene. I really wasn't sure how we were going to play it. Right up until the cameras are rolling, to be honest. My preparation was a lot of this, and not really much more than that. And it was
ages to film that scene, right? It took like 2 days because we wanted to get it right.
That's right.
It was a long time shooting, and rightly so, because it was historically accurate. I couldn't believe it either, and the fact that Catherine is almost egging him on to do it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
We really found that scene in particular. I mean, kind of a lot of the scenes in the space and playing and trying things out, and that's what you see a lot in I think the show. There's a real kind of energy to it because we're all playing and discovering stuff on the day. Would you agree, Jess?
Yeah, definitely. I think you find. I mean, I found it hard to believe that Catherine would egg him on and stand there and not clock what was going on. And I was really aware of that. I was saying to Justin, our director, all the time, "Does she look stupid? I mean, it's obvious. Like, it's obvious to me." But I think she thinks she's in on it, and she's. Oh, I don't want to say anything to spoil it, but she's got news of her own that she's totally ecstatic about. So she's just kind of on another plane kind of thing, and then this happens and she thinks it's a game, and in some ways it is, but it's a really dangerous game, and she has been a part of it and she's made it happen too.
And Thomas Seymour is a very controversial historical character that may or may not have used Elizabeth. I mean, some historians say he did. He was older, handsome, and she was much younger. He knew he'd be able to get away with some stuff. I'm assuming it must be very interesting to play a controversial character, especially when we will never know everything that actually happened. How did it impact the way you took on this role?
So I think it's really important to read the history. I think it's really important to kind of try and figure out what happened factually, and everything. The scene that we talked about earlier. Everything in the show that happens historically, but history is just interpretation of facts, and that's what our show is. It kind of sits between the lines and fills in the gaps and looks mostly at motivation. He's a very complex guy to play, but I had to kind of leave a lot of the history at the door. I did a lot of reading, a lot of research, but using Anya's writing kind of first and foremost, because the story is so well written, it's so nuanced. He is such a nuanced, complex, very murky character, and that's the way that Anya's written it. That she is a brilliant writer, and so it was more about kind of making sure that I didn't fuck up her amazing writing, to be honest. I tried not to. I think I probably did a little bit because it was so good on the page. But but that's it really.
Every character is out for themselves, which I think is fun to watch, where they kind of disregard the effect it has on anyone around them. Catherine's the same. Thomas is the same, and unfortunately Elizabeth is being introduced to this corrupt world as an innocent, and you just feel for her because she's got to learn the ropes really quickly, and she can't trust anyone.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the show is at
Or
its
Catherine.
heart a contemporary story about a young woman searching for her place in the world,
Yeah.
amongst very powerful men.
Jessica, Tom, it was amazing to see you on screen. I love Catherine Parr. Thank you, Tom, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Bye-bye. Bye.